Hey everyone, my name is Neil Karski and I'm the CEO of Patient Engine, a 7-figure digital marketing, lead conversion, and coaching agency for high-ticket aesthetics providers. And I would like to personally welcome you to the Aesthetics Millionaires show, where we sit down with industry entrepreneurs to talk about their personal journeys and discuss proven growth strategies. My genuine hope is that through this podcast, we can create more success stories in this industry and help more business owners scale past their competition. Enjoy the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 3 of Aesthetics Millionaire Show. Today I'm joined by the wonderful Kim Jeremiason from Blu Ice Med Spa in Woodbury, Minnesota. Kim, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
It's good to have you here. So the goal of this show here and having you here is to understand who is Kim, what drives Kim in her daily life. I know you've built a very successful business in the aesthetics industry. So just want to learn a little bit more about you. You're one of our clients, one of our coaches. It's amazing having you here. So I just want to really understand, like, who is Kim? What drives Kim every single day? I know that the business is a big part of you, but what else besides the business motivates you to wake up in the morning and really pursue that journey of life that you're on?
I would say my family is first. My faith in God obviously is first, I should say. My family is second. So my kids obviously mean a lot to me. And the business is what really drives me, though, and makes me really excited every day. And just everything. Life is great.
So I want to go back a little bit. Tell me a little bit of your history. Tell me, before you were an entrepreneur, what were you doing? Before you started Blu Ice Med Spa, what are you? Okay,
that's a good question. I've been in sales for about 25 years.
What were you selling?
I sold life insurance. I worked for a nutrition company in sales. And for a short time, I also owned a fitness studio in a very small town.
Where are you from?
I'm from a really small town in southwest Minnesota, in the middle of nowhere, a town of 300. It's named Chandler, Minnesota. That's where I grew up.
So all 300 people were members of a fitness studio, right?
Yeah, no.
So what got you into sales?
I would say to begin with, it was money. I realized that you could make a lot of money in sales, and I love people. And so I just kind of went with that. Okay.
So, financial motivation is a big one. What else drives you? Obviously, to afford nice things, you have to do more than others, right?
Yes.
Or more for others as well. So, you said that you're financially motivated, but family is a big thing for you. What else kind of drives you and incentivizes you to put in 110% every day?
My clients. I would say that's the biggest thing.
Tell me more.
I would say our clients that we have at the spa are, amazing, and I love seeing them. We have people that come in for body contouring every week, and it's hard to be, you have to draw a fine line because you have to be professional, but, to be honest with you, a lot of them, I think I get more out of having them come in than they do coming in, because we learn so much from them. And they're just really great people.
What have you learned from your clients? Give me some particular examples.
Just life stories. We learn a lot. You get to know the client, their story. And it's unbelievable, some of the stories that you hear. And it motivates me.
Why do you think those clients are so open and get so vulnerable and with you guys and sharing those stories? Because obviously that's definitely an opportunity to build a relationship really fast. But why you guys?
Well, I think that they feel safe, and they know that we care about them. I was really lucky. What I didn't tell you about my growing up is in our small town, my dad owned a family business that actually started with my great grandpa. So I would spend my days after school sometimes just sitting there. It was a grain and feed industry. And I was lucky enough to be able to sit there and watch my great-grandpa, my grandpa, and my dad deal with customers. And what I saw from a very young age is, my gosh, my grandpa and my great-grandpa and my dad, they legitimately really care about their customers, and they love having them in here, and the customers love them. And I guess that's what I saw from a very young age, and that's what I want to duplicate.
So you were in sales for 25 years. What triggered the desire to open a spa?
Well, it's a good question too, because I had another job at the time when we opened the spa.
What were you doing?
I was doing nutrition sales at that time. So I was only going to work like 1 or 2 days a week. We had somebody running it, and obviously we started with just cryotherapy. So really we just needed to have one person there.
Soon realized that wellness doesn't sell as well as aesthetics.
Right. We knew within the first 6 months, I would say, that we needed to add services and we needed to pivot real quickly to make money.
Now the name makes sense. The Blu Ice Med Spa.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay. So you're doing cryotherapy. You're getting a few people in a door, maybe putting them on a membership, making a little bit of money, probably losing money at that point. Mm-hmm. What did you add first?
So the first thing we added was the cryo T-Shock. I think it was the sales rep from Pagani must have called us, and I started to look into it, and I thought, well, this might work. Went out to New York, tried it, and realized that there's definitely something here, and I think our clients would benefit from having this. So we started with that.
Okay, so you started in body sculpting.
Correct.
And you were doing cryo T-Shock plus the cryotherapy chamber?
Yes.
Interesting. Okay. So what would a typical day look like at the spa then?
Well, obviously I became full-time pretty quickly after getting that. And we had a huge open house. And I think the night we had our open house, we sold many packages when we actually didn't even have the T-Shock.
Do you remember what the revenue was for that day?
I think we did like 15,000 that day.
Nice.
And we weren't even making that in a month. Our sales were pathetic with cryotherapy. So that's when I realized, okay, we got to have this direction.
Gold mine, baby. We got it.
Yep.
Yeah, body sculpting is definitely a high ticket niche. I think more people are jumping on that train and realizing, hey, I can make $2,000 to $5,000 in one sitting versus sell 60 facials in a year. So
right.
So you started doing body sculpting, you got a cryo T-Shock, business started growing. Was it just you back then, or did you have an employee?
It was just me, and then we had one employee that was doing cryotherapy as well.
Gotcha.
But I was doing the cryo T-Shock treatments myself.
And your clients started to get some really good results, and you kind of said, "Hey, this is a trajectory we're going to take."
Yes.
Any lessons learned in the beginning besides, going high ticket to body sculpting? Anything that you would share with other entrepreneurs who are at early stages like that?
Oh my gosh, so many lessons. Then I keep learning every day. I guess the biggest thing is, if something isn't working, you need to pivot right away. That's what we learned right out of the gate. And then you need to find the services that your clients want and that they're willing to spend money on.
Right. Yeah, that's good advice. So you started doing body sculpting, the business grew. Tell me a little bit more. I think that there's different phases of a business. I think 0 to 10,000 a month is one, 10 to 30,000 is another, 30 to 50, 50 to 100, etc. So tell me about the next phase. What happened next as you guys continue to grow and pick up some traction? Yeah,
we started growing. We added our laser services for the face, laser hair removal, skin tightening device, all in one. And then we just grew from there. After that, How did you grow from there? Because the devices just don't sell themselves. We know that. Right.
Were you growing organically at that point? I think.
Yes.
And getting referrals and word of mouth.
Yes, we were, but it was still pretty slow. So, I mean, but a lot of people that were doing the T-Shock transitioned over to face services. And it took us a while to get the laser up and going. And then we added the Botox filler, PRP, that shortly after.
Gotcha. And that gave you more opportunities to cross-sell even more and retain clients for a long time.
Right.
Have you ever tracked, so the couple of questions I like to ask is, one, what is the biggest treatment plan you ever sold? And what is the biggest client you have from like a lifetime customer value? I know that one of our clients in Maine, she sold about $37,000 worth of services to one person, which is pretty insane. But do you have answers for those? Mm-hmm. Tell me.
Yeah, we have clients who have spent just in the last 2 or 3 years, $25,000 and up. I mean, I would say there's probably 10 to 12 clients in that category.
Amazing. Do you do anything special for those clients? Any sort of VIP treatment?
Yes.
Tell me a little bit more.
So it just depends on what they want. Most of them are in the body contouring package. So there's times when we just give them treatments. And like if they want to do laser, fat removal, or I just had one email me earlier today. She wants to try skin tightening for her face. So it's a great way to cross-sell, and it's going to be a treatment that's going to be free to her. So it's a great way to get them to experience other treatments and other lines of business.
And then she'll probably buy a package after that anyways.
Hopefully.
Yeah. It's reciprocity, right? That's really what it is. It's building goodwill, building value, building trust, building a relationship, and having somebody who's going to, to be your ally as well. Right.
Right.
So it's $25,000 plus. Wow. That's amazing. Do you guys track lifetime customer sales? You do, right? I'm pretty sure you guys do a really good job at that, because
yes.
I think that's important. I think a lot of businesses in this space sell one niche or one type of service, and then they forget that if they offer other services, they're missing out on additional revenue opportunities, right?
Right. Absolutely.
And you guys capitalize on that pretty well.
Yes.
How do you train your staff on the whole customer journey, cross sells, et cetera?
I guess what we do is on our client medical history, it basically has everything on there. Body, whether they're there for body or face. What about your face bothers you? What about your body bothers you? They have to answer those questions. And then we always read through that very well. And then we can it's hard to remember though, when you're focused on body contouring and it's like, this is the highest ticket item. And then, oh, by the way, they have rosacea or whatever that they're concerned about. So you have to be very alert, make sure you read those sheets. And then as you're going into, if they're there for body contouring, you talk about that. And then you say, we say, hey, I noticed that you have on here that you're worried about rosacea on your face. I'm going to have you talk to Jenna or Emily, our esthetician. They can maybe talk to you real quick about that. And then they come in. Or maybe somebody wants to do lip filler, whatever it might be. You always have to be alert and ready to sell. Don't just limit yourself to just that one treatment that they came in for that day.
Right. I always like to bring up incentivizing your staff to sell. How do you do that? I recently was on an engagement for one of our clients in Washington State, and we put together some commission tiers around upsells, cross sells, and bringing in clients of their own, and getting paid for that. So maybe you can tell me what you guys do at Blu Ice.
So it's different for everyone. We have some, and it depends on also what our employees want. Some want to have a higher base with a lower commission just to have that guaranteed. And some want just commission. So everyone is structured differently. And then I think what I've noticed, like with our esthetician, she's paid hourly. But what I realized is, hey, I think I can get her to do a little bit more if I offer her a little bit more commission. Obviously, they get amazing tips, but I realized that, maybe just having her get a little bit of commission on product and other cross-selling, it might motivate her even more. And it has.
Right.
It's worked very well.
Yeah. I mean, I think most people in some capacity are financially incentivized.
Yes, but most of
or motivated.
Our employees are mostly wanting the base pay to be higher.
Gotcha. They want security.
So you kind of have to listen to what they want and then go from there.
Sure,
Yep.
sure. But you also, I guess not everybody's always going to want to sell.
Right.
Some people are more fit for fulfillment and for customer service and nurturing that relationship. And some people are more of the hustlers and the sharks who want to make more money. And I guess those types of individuals tend to lean towards having more commission.
Right.
So let's go back through the story a little bit. So you started adding more devices. The business grew more. I think, if I'm not mistaken, and I may be, so correct me, you guys were in Groupon for a while, were you?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
So we did Groupon for Cryo T-Shock for a while. And, I mean, it was okay. But I ended it.
Pretty fast.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So at this point, you had a lot of devices. You were getting more customers through word of mouth. You did some other external advertising, and I think you were ready to scale, right? At that point, is that when we started kind of chatting? Is that around that time? Mm-hmm. I think you were doing. I believe you were doing about 30 to 40K at that point.
Yes.
Yeah, we're a lot higher now.
Yes.
In the 7-figure run rate, which is great. I know you obviously took a leap with my company, Patient Engine, to do marketing and get more people in the door. And like we talked about, it was a good marriage between, us being able to consistently bring you new clients and then you being able to sell with your 25 years of sales background since you were 5. So write that down, guys. So at that point, we got together. You took, you invested in a system. Tell me about the journey. We've spoken about this a lot, but I think it's important for other entrepreneurs to hear this, how the importance of investing in marketing, especially marketing that works, of having the right partner or having the right relationship with that partner, and obviously placing an amazing responsibility and focus and emphasis on being able to convert those people. Right.
So we had done we had used other marketing companies. We even spent a lot of money with this marketing company that came in and did, all these videos, testimonials with their clients, and we spent a lot and we got nothing from it.
How did that make you feel?
Not happy, obviously. And so that's why when you came along, I was very
skeptical.
So that was one of the things. And I remember you telling me, you have to spend money to make money. And I was like, yeah, it's easy for you to say. Whatever. You don't know what we've been doing. We spent a lot of money and we didn't make anything.
Yeah. And I mean, it's interesting because at some point, I feel like every entrepreneur goes through that.
Yes.
Where they put their trust in somebody or in a company and it fails them, and it's painful. And
yes.
it's not a loss, it's a lesson. It's an expensive lesson, right?
Yes.
So then you go back and you're like, man, should I do this? Should I not do this? The ego comes in, but you have to put your trust in somebody, otherwise you can't do everything yourself, right?
Right.
It's having the opportunity to actually be able to scale without having to build it yourself, because I can't do accounting, right? You have to hire an accountant, you have to hire an expert, and marketing is probably the biggest investment you can make in your business, right? Because if you don't have customers, you don't have problems. You just have a lot of bills that accumulate in overhead, right? So,
Yep.
So we started working together. I know, obviously, you've been one of my favorite clients and one of our biggest supporters and advocates. Let's talk about the evolution of that, because, I think, you saw predictability and success and pretty fast, but over time, I mean, we've both learned a lot of stuff. I know that you have optimized your sales processes and how you treat your customers as well, because you were getting a lot more customers in the door every single month. And I know there's definitely some growing pains. So tell me a little bit more about that. What came along besides obviously more traffic in your doors and that revenue growth? What came along with that? What lessons came with that? To
be ready to sell. I guess I didn't really think that you were going to be able to deliver. Your company was going to be able to deliver, but actually you over-delivered. And I think we got more leads right out of the gate than what you even promised, said that we would get. And I think that's the biggest thing. And I think we could have done a lot better right out of the gate if we had been ready and had our packages ready to go. And that's one of the things I see when I'm doing sales coaching. The leads are going to come in and you need to be ready for it. So I train the team. Everybody knows from the second the client enters the door how everything's done. And I guess that was something that we had to learn really quickly.
Right. Because every opportunity you miss is a potential lifetime client.
Yes.
That can spend maybe $25,000 with you.
Right.
That you can transform and help them with their life, that can bring other clients in the door, right? I love that you said, when we filmed our sales coaching modules, you said, and I echo this a lot with everybody else, treat everybody with utmost integrity, respect, treat them like a VIP, no matter what their background is, no matter what they're coming in for. You never know. They might come back to you. They might find the money. They might refer somebody else. Maybe they'll bring a family member, or maybe they'll spend $30K, right? So regardless, if you have that mindset, you're going to be able to be a lot more successful with converting them, or just providing them with results.
Right.
It doesn't always have to be about money, right? You said that. It's just the impact that you're making with these customers is super important.
It's not just about money. You want everybody to leave, even if they're only going to buy the mini mommy makeover and never see them again. You want them to leave and be happy and feel like, obviously feel welcome, but get that great review, that 5-star review. That's really what keeps me motivated too. We check the reviews all the time. Yeah.
Well, it's great social proof, and a lot of people will find you organically on Google My Business, and when they see that you have 50 plus 5-star reviews and a lot of good before and afters, they're going to come to you organically, right? That's another marketing channel that we should definitely not overlook. Speaking of social proof, do you guys take a lot of before and afters with body and facial aesthetics treatments?
Yes, we do.
Does everybody do a before and after?
Yes.
So you must have like a wall.
No, we don't. So we do the before and afters for the client. And then if they decide they want to let us use them for before and afters, for social media, we do, but we always tell the client, this is just for you. So we do it for everything now. We were just doing it mostly for body contouring, but it's for lasers, it's for lash lift and tints, brow lamination, everything. Before and afters for everyone. That's very important.
Yeah. You said that you take a lot of pride and initiative into investing in your clients, making sure that they get the most out of their transformations. Can you speak a little bit on that?
Well, that's what they're there for. You definitely want to, and I try not to overpromise anything. You don't want to do that either, but you want to be very confident on the results that you can get for them. And make them happy, make them want to keep coming back. Not everyone's going to, obviously, but that's the goal. You want to give them the results that they're looking for, and you got to do whatever you can to make that happen.
Do you guys get a lot of referrals?
We do.
Do you incentivize clients to provide you with referrals, or they just happen organically? Tell me
we incentivize them.
Tell me about your process.
It varies, but if somebody buys a body contouring package, what we usually do is we have the person that referred the client, they get to choose from 3 different services. They can do skin tightening for the face, they can do laser lipo, or they can do skin tightening for the body. So those are the 3 services they can pick from.
It's amazing. So they get a free treatment for a referring client.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Anywhere in the ranges.
How many referrals do you guys get a month? Estimated. 10 to 20?
I would say for sure 10. This month we've had quite a few.
Awesome.
To be honest with you, we're getting a lot for semaglutide.
Good. What are your thoughts on semaglutide? Is it a fad? Is it here to stay?
Probably not. It's probably not going to stay. So you got to ride this train while you can, because they're going to
crack down.
Yeah, I think they are already.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But our clients are getting really great results doing it with the body contouring package. Very good results.
You sell a lot of hybrid packages, right?
Yes.
With weight loss and body contouring.
Yeah.
Let's talk about money makers. What are your favorite devices that are generating you the most revenue?
Right now it's the M Sculpt Neo and the laser lipo. They're definitely the top ones.
What's the laser lipo device that you have?
We have the Venus Bliss Flex Max.
Gotcha.
So it does 3 different things.
Sure. And you use that in conjunction with M Sculpt sometimes.
Yeah. Yep.
So those are the biggest money makers for body. What about face?
Face would be laser. Now it's laser season, so we do really well with that. And then I would say filler, lip filler, PRP. We do a lot of Dr. PRP. It's more natural, so we try to promote that, and you make more money than regular filler.
So speaking about making money, what do you try to make at a minimum from an hour time block?
Hour time block?
What is your billable rate? Your minimum billable rate?
What do you mean, for our sales?
So if I have a client that comes in, I want to make X amount of dollars at a minimum from a treatment.
Oh, depending on what they're doing. Obviously, like the hydrofacial, the lash lift and tint, we're going to
Those will be your lower ticket.
Yeah, those are lower ticket.
What's the minimum for that?
We want to make anywhere between $75 and $100.
Okay.
So,
revenue or profit?
In profit.
Profit. What about revenue? 150?
Yeah, for those 150 to 200.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, but you got to have a lot of volume too.
Exactly.
A lot of volume. So
yep.
I think those services are important, but I think they're more schedule fillers.
Right. And it's also very competitive because
everybody does it.
Yeah.
And we know in Minnesota there's a lot of med spas.
There's
a lot of med spas. I mean, every state. Holy crap, every state in the last 3 years. Where do you think the aesthetics industry is going? I think it's merging with health and wellness, big time. I know we're seeing the weight loss stuff pop up a lot. So I know some people are getting into the AI stuff and skin analytics, etc. Some people are going more lifestyle brands and adding different things. Where do you think the industry is going in the next 3 to 5 years?
The sky's the limit, really. Everything, the technology is absolutely crazy what's happening. We just got the M face and we have the M Cella. So where I see things going is it's all about what can we do to not go under the knife. And
faster, quicker results.
Yes. Because, women now are, my gosh, they have kids, they have
jobs,
they don't have the time for the downtime. So I think that's definitely where it's going.
Gotcha. Do you think we're going to see the competition continuously get bigger and bigger, or do you think that a lot of these providers are going to eventually go under because they're not going to be able to keep up, whether it's technology, whether it's staffing, whether it's not having enough marketing? I know obviously in the aesthetics industry, I think 90% of businesses go out would be before their second year. So where do you think we're going to see the aesthetics?
I think a lot of businesses are gonna go out of business. I can definitely see that. And you have to be on your A game, and you have to be constantly looking for devices that are going to be money makers, that are going to work. And you have to always be thinking outside the box. It's like you can never get too comfortable because you have to be just changing with the times, and you better set yourself apart, do something different.
How have you done that at Blu Ice, besides hiring us?
Well, I'm a big salesperson, so I think that right there is what sets us apart. My team.
How do you define sales, right? Ultimately, because a lot of people, we talked about this in our previous episode, a lot of people in healthcare especially think that sales is a dirty term because it's when you're supposed to be helping people. But
exactly.
Instead we're having them just commit to things, etc. So how do you guys define sales in your spa? What does that mean to you?
It means that you need to be able to sell packages and sell to the client. It's not just about giving them information. They're there for a reason. And so I think there's a lot of times where people undersell. And I noticed that myself when I was a client at the spas. I would say, my gosh, why didn't they tell me about that? Why didn't they tell me about that? I would have been interested. I would have bought everything because I'm like, I need everything. But nobody told me about it. So I think a lot of times we undersell. And then there's also a fine line because you don't want to get too pushy. But I train our sales team. Our sales team came from sales in different industries already. And so we transferred over into the aesthetic industry. And I think the biggest mistake that we make is we automatically assume that people who are in like laser technicians or estheticians or RNs or doctors even, that just because they're doing these treatments, they know how to sell. And 9 times out of 10, they don't.
So you did mention earlier that you had a really valuable story to tell from your dad. So maybe
it's not that valuable, but...
Okay, well, let's dive into it. Maybe it's funny.
It's not really funny either, but it actually taught me something. So when you're talking about your clients, yes, when you're selling, sales is making your clients happy. That goes without saying. And knowing everything, knowing what they want and just knowing them. And I guess one of my, as I said before, my dad was in the grain industry his whole life, and he had his retirement party about 8 years ago. And all the clients came to his retirement party. And yes, we grew up in a small town, but obviously the agriculture industry in Southwest Minnesota is huge. It's all over. And what was really funny is we all went to I'm the oldest of 6 kids, and all of us were there except my one sister. And there's 5 girls and 1 boy. And there were clients that were like, who are these girls? And my dad's like, oh, those are my daughters. Oh, Dave, we didn't know you had daughters. We didn't. And I was just like, how could you not know that? Didn't have any, that my dad didn't have 6 kids. This is something he's super proud of, and then all of a sudden it hit me, my dad knew so much about his clients. And you know what? He made the client feel special, and it was all about them. If they had asked, hey, how many kids do you have, Dave, or whatever, he would have said it. But what it made me realize is, the client is the important person, not you. You don't have to share your stories unless it has something,
unless it's relevant,
something significant, like your story, your personal story about body contouring. And I think it's hard because when you have clients that will share their story, I mean, my gosh, the stuff I hear, like somebody that went through a nasty divorce, and I'd be like, yeah, that's nothing compared to my story. I don't say that, you know what I mean? But I listen, and that client probably will never know that I went through a nasty divorce because it's all about them.
Right. And they feel like you care, and they feel like
Yes.
they're being listened to and cared for and nurtured, and they become vulnerable. And I think that's why you get so many people to open up to you and tell you what their true motivation is for this, right? It's not one thing on a surface level. It's something deeper that you have to kind of find, right? Mm-hmm. So you've done a really amazing job of adding services because you realized, hey, I need more opportunities for cross sells and retention. Your clients love you guys. They keep coming back. And you've also done a really good job of doubling down and putting in more money, investing into marketing, which has been so important. And I bring this up every single episode because not only because we are a marketing agency, but the fact that it's almost critical to be able to scale if you want to grow your business in a really sustainable fashion, right? Like you said, if you don't have customers in the door, you don't have problems, you're more so just racking up bills and spending money. But if you have more customers, there's more to sell them. There's more pain points that you can solve for them. To tell us a little bit more about the mindset behind advertising multiple things, investing a lot into your marketing, and over time, actually, that cost per acquisition goes down. Your total marketing expense in relation to your actual revenue goes down as well as you scale, right? So maybe touch on that a little bit as form of advice for other aesthetics entrepreneurs.
What do you mean? Like as in putting money into marketing, why you would want to do that? Mm-hmm. Well, because you have to decide how else are you going to get clients in the door. It's not. What
else have you tried? I know you've tried. So let's kind of recap this. You've tried Groupon.
Yep.
Failed. You've tried other marketing agencies. Failed. They didn't have a proven system.
Yeah.
Word of mouth has been good for you, but it wasn't sustainable or predictable or scalable.
Yeah.
Working with us, which we do paid advertising and client acquisition, has worked.
Right.
So you obviously decided that, hey, this is a tested method, a tested marketing channel, and you decided to invest a lot into that.
Yes, because in the past, we would do, I was a member of the chamber. There's other business networking groups.
Was there any predictability in that, though?
No, there's nothing against that, but you have to realize that what are you going to really get out of that? What, one client maybe? 2 clients? And then you're putting all this time because you have to go to all these events. And like our town, like many towns have, festivals, and then they have this Woodbury Days where you can go and do a booth. And we've done all those things. And you're going to have a lot of people that are going to come by your booth, but are they going to actually come into your business? And no, probably not. So that's why I think what you guys are doing is so different, because we're putting all our money into, that's all we're doing is Patient Engine. I'm not doing any other marketing. I mean, I've done direct mailers and they have been okay, but nothing compared to this.
What did you mail clients? A funny card.
Yeah. Well, I like those things.
I do too.
I'm old school. So I do like direct mailers, but you may get, you might send a direct mailer out of, 30,000 people, 10,000 people. You might get like 5 or 6 clients in, 5 good clients. That's great. But, it's also very expensive, and,
predictable.
Very unpredictable, yeah. Because that most of them are going to go right in the trash immediately,
Right.
So So the thing is, you have to get the clients to come in the door, and that's what you guys are really. You guys definitely make that happen.
Right. So as far as marketing, I think we can all agree, if you find a way that works, put your dollars into it, right? Because you're almost have a guaranteed ROI if you have a good sales process,
right,
and a good sales conversion rate, which your team converts at what, 50% plus?
Probably more. I went through our leads that so far this month, and I think we're actually at 80%.
80%. Wow, it's phenomenal. It's great. And industry rate's like 20%, but that's amazing. That's amazing. So in that sense, your ROI almost goes up by 5-6 times right there, right? Which I think that your ROI has been, I want to say probably lifetime ROI has been 10 to 15x over what you spent with us, which is amazing. 7-figure run rate. Tell me a little bit more about what you have planned for Blu Ice Med Spa for the next year, or maybe 1 to 3 year plan. What would you like to accomplish?
We have big plans. So we're in talks right now. We were approached by a couple different franchising agencies because I guess we have one of the most franchisable med spas that they tell us, unless they're just saying that. Maybe that's their sales pitch to everyone. But I guess just because we're a little bit different, and so we are in talks with franchising. I guess, Blu Ice is like I have 2 kids. It's like my 3rd child, so I don't want to take away from the spa. So I don't want to be, making another job for myself. But I think the key is to just find people just like me that want to dedicate everything to the business. And then it's definitely duplicatable, I think. It's not like rocket science, but you have to be able to, dedicate the time to it. It takes a lot of time. It's a lot of work.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think that they'll just open a spa, clients will come.
Yes. That's what we thought originally.
Revenue will grow.
You open the door, they're just going to drive by and come in.
Everything's fine and dandy. Clock in, clock out.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Does not work like that.
No, it doesn't. So franchising potentially in 2024, right? Any other, I would call them corporate-owned locations or owned by you that you think about opening up? Other states, maybe a little bit more in Minnesota?
We're going to start in Minnesota, probably Wisconsin. We are getting a lot of clients from Wisconsin. There's not much there. So
no, there isn't.
Yeah.
It's really interesting because the rural areas perform extremely well. I know we just launched a client in Southern Illinois. I'm not going to use the terms, but it's out there. It's out there, and there's no competition there. There's no providers. And the great thing about Meta Ads is it's demand generation. So we're finding people with pain points that need those types of services. And I think that client has got 25 appointments, 2 weeks. And usually we don't see those types of numbers, especially this time of the year. But it's because there's no competition.
Yeah.
And you're advertising to a good target audience, and they don't have anybody to go to. So I think that's an amazing strategy. And I think those I call them tier 3 markets, are pretty untapped. And people are on social media, right? They're out there, they're looking, but there's no providers, right? And they're probably not going to drive 3 hours. I'm sure some people have.
Yes. We get people that come from many, many hours away.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why that's how with your ad campaigns, that's kind of made us realize the areas that we should be. We have people coming 3-4 hours. I've had clients come from South Dakota, North Dakota, and those are 2 other states we'd like to hit as well. So just right in the, and then who knows what, but you have to start small and be realistic and then go from there.
And then scale one, and then scale to others, and using the same model. Are you going to keep the Blu Ice Med Spa brand? Or?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh man, we need to talk about that. Yeah, because it's interesting because the Blu Ice Med Spa name came from cryotherapy.
Yeah.
Which is something
And
that
nothing against cryotherapy.
No, it's amazing.
It is amazing. But then again,
do you still have clients that do a cryotherapy there?
Very, very few, to be honest.
Okay.
Not many. I think cryotherapy works more in if you're just doing wellness, and for somebody who, let's say, like a doctor or whatever, that opens their own wellness center, because they already have the brand, they have that name. I think that's where cryotherapy probably works the best, but that's in Minnesota. Also, we're in one of the coldest states, so you have to realize that
you just walk outside and you get cryotherapy.
Yeah, that's usually what people say. I don't know why I'm spending money on this. And I was like,
just take my clothes off and go outside. All right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. So multiple locations come in 2024.
Hopefully that's the plan.
You're obviously, I know a marketing guy that you can talk to.
Yeah, yep.
So that's good. So we have that covered. How are you going to approach hiring and training staff for those locations? And I know you said, I want to find someone like me, which is tough because there's only one Kim.
Yeah, no, everybody is replaceable. So
I like that.
You have to. But they can replace the president of the United States in 20 minutes. You can replace anyone. So that's my motto. So never think, get too full of yourself and think you're all that, because then you come crashing down the next day or whatever. So that's something that I think too. But I guess you have to be so passionate about it. And if you want to be successful, you have to just be into it, thinking about it all the time. Like there's times when I'm like, I got to stop thinking about the business. Like I got to do something else with my life. Like I have no life. I drive to work, but then I'm really I love it. I love what I do. I practically live there. And I mean, even my nephews, I didn't make it to any of their football games because I work on Saturday. And then I'm like, well, I don't have to work on Saturday, but I choose to. And then I'm like, oh, but I didn't go to my nephew's football games. I should have done that maybe. You know what I mean? So it's hard to
opportunity
you gotta keep your priorities straight at the same time.
Like, I don't know how much money I'm gonna make from watching your game, nephew.
I know.
But family's important.
Yes.
What are you gonna do with all the millions of dollars you're gonna make from Blu Ice Med Spa and franchising an open location? What's kind of the ultimate goal here? I know a lot of people, they have personal goals. They want to travel. Some people want to do philanthropic stuff. Some people want to leave legacy for their families. What do you want to do?
All of those things. I would like to kind of duplicate what my great grandpa did and leave this business to my kids if they choose to go that route. My daughter's in esthetician school right now, and she's definitely interested in this.
Is she going to sell like mom?
I hope so. She better. And obviously, I like to do charity work too. So, I mean, that's really important to me. I'm involved in my church. I love to travel. Eventually I want to retire. We go to Mexico a lot, especially in the winter. So I would like to be
Where in Mexico?
Cabo, we've been to Acapulco, we go all over.
You guys were going to come to my place in Tulum next year.
We're
going to switch you up a little bit to the East Coast, baby.
Okay.
Any advice for, so two questions. Advice for people who are just starting in this industry and who are serious. I'm going to capitalize on that. And then any advice for people who are 7-figure entrepreneurs like yourself who are looking to do something bigger. So let's start with the first one.
I think the thing that I've learned is don't try to do everything yourself. Stay in your lane. Obviously figure out what is going to make the most money and go with that. Find sales people. And I think don't worry about the small stuff. Outsource whatever you can. Find like what your strengths are, and then stay focused on that, and try to outsource whatever else you can. And I know you have to, I guess when you just start out, you're on a strict budget, obviously.
Where would you put the money?
What's that?
Where do you put the money? Strict budget. Where do you put the money when you start?
Where do you put your money?
Yeah.
Well, I'm a big believer in body contouring. You know, that's what's different that's what's different about our med spa. We didn't start with the face stuff at all. I mean, to me, I just looked at it and thought, well, there's no money there. There is money there, but the body contouring is what I'm a big believer in.
Yeah, it gets results,
so
and it's high ticket. You got to start
with the high ticket items and what's going to get people results and what people will spend money on. Yeah.
Well, I think marketing too, right? You have to market because when you first start out, you don't have any results. Mm-hmm. You don't have any authority. Mm-hmm. You don't have any client base. You don't have any people who are going to refer you people. So I think marketing is huge. I mean, I know when I first started this business, well over 3 years ago, everything I was making, I was putting back into marketing because I knew I could sell when I learned how to sell. And then after that, it was fast growth because I was putting so much into marketing, right? But I knew I was going to get an ROI because I knew that I could bring these clients on and they would stay with me for, at least a few months. Yeah. What about entrepreneurs who are more established, who are, who are in a similar spot as you? Any advice for somebody at that level? Besides, be ready to sell. And I know we place a lot of emphasis on sales, but it's super important. So,
and entrepreneurs that are not in the med spa industry,
no, entrepreneurs who are in med spa and aesthetics, who are who have an established business like yours, who are facing positive, fast growth, and who have ambitions to do more.
That's a good question. I would say
sell bigger packages.
Sell as much as you can, but obviously like I said, don't move too fast. Make sure you have if you're wanting to expand or add other services, you really, we've made many mistakes, bringing on services that did not sell. And you got to make sure that you do your due diligence before you bring something else on, and make sure that you are well staffed and that you have somebody dedicated to each line of business, because each line of business is a gold mine waiting to get tapped into. And if it gets overlooked, it's never going to happen.
Right. All right. Let's get into the couple of fun questions. Favorite luxury brand off the top of your head?
Gucci.
Favorite non-luxury brand?
Target. I'm from Minnesota.
Yeah, from Minnesota. It's predictable. 3 words to describe Kim.
I'm fun, outgoing, and I love people.
That's a lot more than 3 words, Kim.
Okay, whatever.
So fun, outgoing, and loving. Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Passionate.
That's another one.
Okay, so
yeah,
we're not following directions here, clearly.
Yeah, well, I have a lot of other ones to describe myself, and I'm sure my family would too.
Last question is, if I went and asked your team about Kim as their boss and leader, what would they say to you? And I said, hey, just tell me honestly, what do you think? What would they tell me?
I think that they like me. I like them, and
why do they like you?
We're like family, because I'm a big believer in not giving them freedom and being flexible. I was a single mom for a long time, and I guess I prioritize. I make sure that if they need to get off do stuff with their kids or something comes up, I'm very understanding with that, and I don't ever want anyone to come to work and not be happy or feel that they're under pressure or they're stressed out because they have a boss that's like really mean and they have this high intense job that is like stressing them out. I don't want people to feel that, because I've been through that myself, and I never want anybody to feel that way. But at the same time, you don't want to be taken advantage of either. So it's a very fine line there. Yep.
What is one of the biggest mistakes that entrepreneurs in this industry make? I know you've recently gotten into coaching. You've coached a lot of our clients. What do you think is the one biggest mistake that you see that maybe is a common denominator?
I think it's probably with a consultation and not asking the right questions, and maybe giving them too much information at first and not letting the client just talk.
They talk too much, and instead of letting the clients give them everything they need to build that relationship, right? Interesting. I think the magic always happens in a consultation.
It is, yes.
Similarly,
absolutely.
for us, it's our introductory call where we learn all about the client. Why am I going to sell somebody something they don't need or want? I need to understand where they're coming from, what they're looking for, and then I'm going to come up with a plan and how I'm going to message my value offerings, and then they're going to be in a better place to make that educated decisions. Just say, okay, this is the right thing for me. I'm going to sell.
And the other thing too is, I think a lot of people, you need to realize if you're in the body contouring space, you have to look the part and you have to kind of follow your advice on yourself, because, they're looking at you. So you want to make sure that you look the part and you look put together.
Right. Yeah. And represent that aesthetic experience that you're selling. So we talked about what's next for Blu Ice and the business. What is next for you? What do you find yourself being passionate about, and where you could add value as well?
Well, I really love coaching people, our clients. I like coaching them on health and wellness, weight loss, fat loss. But I also found that I really love doing sales coaching for other business owners. It was something that I didn't think that I was going to like, but I actually love it. And I feel like I can help people sell. I can help other businesses design a body contouring package that can sell. And I think I can help them be as successful as we are. Because you're bringing the leads in. And
appointments, Kim. We don't like the word leads anymore.
Okay,
it's a dirty term.
Okay, I won't say leads.
I know that my clients have gotten tremendous value from you, and you've helped them work through a lot of the things. And you and I obviously have recorded 4 amazing modules on mindset, pricing strategy, sales process, objection handling, and closing. And they've been so well received from everybody, and very helpful. Why do you think that you like the coaching aspect so much? I know you love helping people, which is an absolute evident answer, but what else?
Well, I feel like I can add value because like I've made all the mistakes, and I think I can help businesses not make the same mistakes that I did, and, just start making money right away. And that's the goal. And maybe because my mom was a teacher, my sisters are teachers, I feel like maybe maybe it's kind of in my background. I don't know,
I will tell
DNA.
you that the teachers that we have hired, either for account management or for appointment closing, have been absolutely phenomenal. They're extremely good at their jobs, and they're extremely good at molding and coaching other people. So I definitely see the alignment there, and I definitely feel like you could add a lot of value to people. Because like you said, they don't have to go through the same mistakes that you did. It's going to cost them a lot less to do coaching than it would be to do.
I wish I would have had somebody that could have said, hey, don't do that, do this, because it's such uncharted territory and things are changing so quickly. So I found like it's something I really enjoy doing.
I think it's been a pleasure having you here. I really appreciate it. You're an amazing client, amazing asset to our client family. You've been an awesome friend, and I thank you for being here and putting up with me for a couple hours here tonight.
Thank you. I've never done a podcast before, so.
Well, thanks for having the courage to come on the podcast and join us today, and we appreciate it.
Thank you.